But I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Ooh, mountains. We gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I rise like the day. I rise up, I rise unafraid. I rise up, and I do it. Hello, welcome to Robert's Reading Room and Reviews. Good evening. This will be my book number 8 review for the year. This book here is kind of, I had mixed feelings about this book. I really did, because I feel like it had potential to be much more than what it presented to me. I gave it 3 stars. I already did my review, and I'll tell you why before the end of this review, the reason why I gave it a 3 star. And the name of the book is called The Loom. It's by Shella Gilles, and is available on Amazon. I think it's like $8 and some change. It was copyright December the 1st, 2011. It consists of 237 pages, so it's a quick read. It's an easy read. It deals with a young little girl. At the time, it starts out when she was a young girl. Her name is Lydia. She's escaping the plantation she lives on in Maryland. And she's trying to get away to freedom, of course, and they catch her. She almost dies because they beat her. She's very light-skinned and fair-skinned, so of course she gets to live in the master's house. Her father and her grandmother lives in the slave quarters. Around this time of the year, especially February, I do nothing but Black history. I do historical books because for Black history, of course. But this year I finished up a book. I said I'll start early, so I started this book last Wednesday, I do believe, and I finished it last night. I didn't like this book. The reason why I didn't like this book, because I feel like the author had a lot of characters. The characters, they didn't connect with the storyline. There was no kind of connection with Lydia. And Lydia, she wound up meeting a boy named John, who also was a slave, who, he knew from the moment when he saw her that she was going to be his wife. It was like love at first sight for him. My thing with her was that she really wanted her freedom. She fell for John, but she also wanted her freedom more than she wanted John. Her master was Dr. Kelly, who she lived with him, his wife and daughter. His daughter name was Liz. Her and Liz had a very tight bond. They was real close. Lydia was very talented. She sewed. That's what she did. She made all the gowns for Mrs. Kelly and Liz, of course. One day Liz caught her with her gown on that she had made for Liz. And Liz was like, keep it on. You look beautiful in it. You almost look just like me, which is not true. She's fair-skinned, but she's not that fair-skinned. In the midst of that, Liz talked her into going to this party at another plantation where Lydia is introduced to Andrew and also to Jackson, which I'm going to get back to that a little later on with Jackson. And I didn't like him at all. He was just low down evil. He hated Black people. And I will say that the reason why he hated Black people, I will also tell you that also. But in the meanwhile, John went to Dr. Kelly and asked to marry Lydia, and he approved, and they got married. During the ceremony, Liz came down, and Lydia's father Isaiah grabbed her, told her, first of all, he came up and told her, you need to leave because you can't be down here amongst the slaves, because you're not supposed to mix like that. Back in those days. I'm just glad I wasn't born back then. Anyway, she wouldn't leave, so he grabbed her, put his hands on her. So then he forced her to leave. Well, the next thing you know, Lydia's father is being killed. The author didn't clarify is that the why he got killed because he put his hand on the master daughter or not. I didn't like that. It wasn't. It wasn't read out. That wasn't cleared up right. So, of course, after that happens, Lydia go real crazy. I mean, she just go real wild. But before she even married John, Dr. Kelly, he tried to force himself on her, but she wound up he wound up not messing with her, and then he actually begged her not to tell his wife or daughter or anybody. She didn't tell anybody, but then when they got married, John went back to Dr. Kelly, the master, and asked could he have, could he make a trade. He had like $2,000 that was given to him. Well, he inherited through his mama and through her mother, and he was willing to pay $2,000 for his freedom and Lydia's freedom also. Well, Dr. Kelly said, well, if you bring the money, you can get your papers and y'all can have y'all freedom. Well, when he got the money up and came back to make the deal, Dr. Kelly said he couldn't do that because he wanted Lydia to actually leave with his daughter Liz, since they had a bond whenever Liz wound up getting married again. So John, he saw something in his eyes. He was like, wait a minute, something ain't right. So he went back and questioned Lydia. Did something happen between the two of them? So finally she broke down and told him that he tried to, have sex with him. Well, he got real upset with Lydia, and he wouldn't talk to her or anything. She was like, you don't want me, you don't want me. So she wound up leaving, escaping the plantation. All of this is taking place in Maryland. And so she leaves and she hitchhike rides and things. And so she wound up walking, I want to say somewhere near Pennsylvania. And she falls and twists her ankle and someone grabs her. Lo and behold, it's Jackson. Jackson invites her back to his house. So she moves in with Jackson. Jackson is really into her. He really he's lusting, I guess you could say. He don't realize that she's black. The reason why he doesn't like black people, he hate black people, is because his brother Tim, when they was younger, he showed Tim this black lady in the lake, naked, bathing and everything. And Tim wound up, since he was the master's son along with Jackson, he wound up having sex with the women. He would have sex with young girls. It didn't matter. He would have sex with someone old enough to be his grandma, which is but he did. And one night he was forcing himself on this character in the book that by the name of Odessa, and her husband wound up, coming in, and they wound up killing him because she didn't want to do it no more. And so he wound up getting killed because he killed, of course, the master's son. And the author in this book, he had Ruth, Abraham, Odessa, and another character who they should have had their own storyline. They shouldn't have even have been in the book because this book was like mainly about Lydia and John and Jackson because of what Jackson stood for and what he put Lydia through. And I just felt like the characters, those other characters didn't belong. It was unfinished to me, and it left you off wondering what's next. Is it gonna be a part 2 or anything? But I just want to say that this month coming up, the next few books I will be doing will be historical mainly. I got some great books I want to try to knock out before the end of next month, because that's all I do in February is read historical or black history. At least can do that. So I would just like to thank you for tuning into my YouTube channel. Please subscribe, like if you like this. My Robert's Reading Room and Reviews is also on my Facebook page. You can always drop in, let me know of a book I may have not read. You can drop it on my, on the page there, and I can check it out, do a review on it. But I just want to thank you for watching my channel. And if you can, open up a book this coming up month. Try to do a Black History, book among someone, I just want to say thank you, and Good night. And until next time, um, open your mind and your book. Great therapy. Good night.